Hey y'all, my name is Spike and I work at the Susanna Dickinson Museum. I also write books and I live at a little ranch where I have some sheep, so I love to make yarn and play with it. And today I'm going to read you a book all about playing with yarn. It's called Spin a Scarf of Sunshine by Dawn Casey Stila Lim. On a gentle slope in rolling hills stood a little house of wood and stone. There were hens and bees and apple trees, bright flowers and soft green grass. And Nari had a little lamb of her very own. All year Nari's little lamb ate the soft green grass, and it grew big and strong. Its fleece grew thick and warm. Stroke, stroke. Winter turned to spring. Nari's little lamb grew into a fine sheep with soft white wool. Papa cut the sheep's fleece. Snip, snip. And Nari washed the wool clean. Splash, splosh. Nari brushed the wool smooth. Brush, brush, and spun it into yarn. Drop, spin. In the summertime, the cottage garden was full of flowers. Nari gathered armfuls of marigolds. Skip, pick. She put the flowers in a big pot of water. It bubbled over the fire. Mama dyed the yarn yellow as summer sunshine. Stir, stir. On autumn evenings, Nari sat by the fire knitting. Clickety-click, clickety-click. Sometimes she made a mistake. Clickety-click, clickety-clonk. But she tried and tried again. By wintertime, Nari had a fine new scarf. Nari wore her scarf in mist and mizzle, storm and snow. It kept her snug and warm. Time passed. Nari grew tall. The scarf grew tatty. One day, Nari said goodbye to her old scarf. She put it onto the compost heap with the carrot tops and apple cores. Drop, flop. The sun shone and the rain fell on the compost heap. By and by, the apple cores, the carrot tops, and the old scarf turned into compost with a little help from the worms. Wiggle munch. Nari dug the compost into the earth, and it made the earth good and rich. Dig, dig. The rich earth helped the plants to grow. The grass grew soft and green, just right for a little lamb. Bah! And here is the wool cycle from sheep to scarf. Number 1, Nari's lamb ate lots of grass and grew big and strong. It became a sheep. Number 2, Papa sheared the sheep to keep it cool in summer. Number 3, he kept its warm fleece. Number 4, Nari washed the fleece. Number 5, she brushed the wool smooth. Number 6, and she spun it into yarn. Number 7, Nari gathered bright flowers. Number 8, she helped Mama dye the yarn. Number 9, Nari knitted the yarn into a new scarf. Number 10, worms helped turn the scarf into compost. Number 11, Nari dug the compost into the earth to help the plants grow. The end. Wow, that was a really great book. And I really love how at the end they show you all the steps that Nari took to turn her sheep's wool into a scarf. So because I live at a ranch and I have some pet sheep, I just happen to have a lot of the things that Nari has in the book, and I'm going to show you some of them today. First of all, I've got 3 sheep, and their names are Cornell, Henry, and Brother. Cornell's the dad, and Henry and Brother are brothers. They grow fur, but we don't call it fur, we call it fleece, and they get really fluffy. And then once or twice a year, a woman named Chloe comes to my house. Her job is a shearer. She shears the sheep. That means she gives them haircuts. And when she gives them a haircut, it comes off of them, and it looks like kind of like this. And it's kind of all messy, and it's very dirty because the sheep live outside. So it's like dirt, like real dirt from the ground. So I have to wash this and wash it and wash it and rinse it and rinse it. And then I spread it on a picnic table outside, and I let the sunshine dry it. And then once it's dry, I take it in the house, and the first thing I do is I put it on my head and I pretend it's a wig. Because you can do that. It's really fun. Then I get down to work. So what I do is I process wool. And what that means is I take it from this and I turn it into yarn. So after the sheep gets a haircut, then I wash it, and then I get out carding brushes. I'm going to show you my carding brushes. That's these. They're a lot like the brushes you use to brush your hair, or maybe you don't like to brush your hair, but you know what a hairbrush is. And it gets the tangles out. So I put it in here, and it also shakes out any hay or dirt because the sheep have hay in their barn to sleep on. And I go like this, whoops, and I just brush it, and I brush it, and I brush it, and I brush it, and I brush it. And what happens is it makes all of the pieces really long. You can still see a little curl in there, but it kind of takes the curl out. And then what I do next, actually I want to show you something else. I brought this. This is a lot like the two brushes. It's a little bit faster. It's called a drum carder. It doesn't need electricity or anything. For this, I put the wool in here. I crank the handle, which I'm not going to do right now because I need it to be on the table. And then the wool goes through it. Same idea. Once I'm done carding it, then I get to spin it into wool. So there's a couple ways. Even if you don't have any tools at home, guess what? You have some tools right here. So I take this and I just stretch it a little bit, and then I spin it with my fingers. I just twist it and twist it and twist it. Do you ever do that with your hair? Like, you twist it like that? That's all I'm doing. I'm twisting the sheep's hair, and it's turning into yarn. Now, there are other ways we can do this to make it faster. I have a spinning wheel at home, just like maybe you've seen in fairy tales. But you can also use this. This is called a drop spindle. It's much smaller than a spinning wheel, so you can take it wherever you want. And we put some of the wool into this hook right here, like so. Whoops. And then, so I'm not great at this, I'm learning it, but for me, that's the fun part. I love learning. It's so cool. Like, I didn't used to know where wool came from, and now I know. So here, look at this. It starts spinning, and then I stretch it out a little bit more and a little bit more. Some people can do this really, really fast. I like to just take my time. Whoops, there we go. And there you have it. You can make your very own yarn.